Hi, Flosstube. It's me again, Megan. Flosstube number 12. 2 weeks in a row. We're on a roll. Yes, still on the phone. I cannot figure out what's wrong with my computer. The audio is still being funky. I don't know. It's okay. I've got a phone that works, so we'll go with that. We'll just jump right in. The kids right now are distracted with Lego Star Wars on the Xbox, so I should hopefully not have any interruptions. So we'll just jump right in with kind of what's been going on this last week. It's definitely been a stitchy week. There was one day I did not stitch. That was Wednesday. But I was up very early up north to Stitchery Express to work with Cindy all day. I usually do that Monday and Wednesday. And by the time I got back and everything, I was so tired. There was no picking up a needle. So that was the only day I didn't stitch. The other days we did. And we did get all the homework done. Yes. So that's all done and posted. So just do a recap of the homework from last week and what the plan is for this next week. And wasn't really any haul this week, but I am planning on at least one, maybe two new starts. We'll see. Anyway, so last week we we're working on the Disney After Dark, the first book of the Disney Keepers series. And so the first prompt for homework was to work on a project that was enabled by a virtual group. And so I chose to do the Santa's Village setup. And I'm doing it all as one big piece. So there's 12 individual ones. You can see them all here. Nice big pile. I'm doing them on tiny gray snowflakes from Stitchery Express, and that's where I got. I almost have all 4 across, so I'm gonna do that and then start going down. So anyway, that's where we got. It's one of those days. So last night I actually slept. The night before, between the kids and the dog and the Poor Mr. Cap got fixed last week, Friday. By Wednesday, his incision was infected, and he had to go back in, and they had to take the rest off. And so he wasn't too happy about that. So he's been going a little stir crazy because I can't have him running around because I don't want him pulling his sutures. So he's hooked up. He can come inside and everything, but he's wanting to be out and running around, but he can't be. However, he was waking us up at all hours of the night. And anyway, still recovering from that. But that adds to the tiredness of all that fun stuff. Okay, so the second prompt was to stitch on something you think is delicate or dainty. That goes with the fact that Maleficent is out in the world and she's using gloves to hide her green hands. So I pulled out my Satsuma Street, the 12 Days of Christmas. And I'm doing this one where they're all together. And the reason why, for me, that was delicate or dainty is because I am doing it on 40 count silk gauze, which is very delicate and dainty, and which I actually quite enjoy stitching on. So you can see here, there's the top. Almost, you can see me through it. Anyway, so I was only about to here something, so I got all that stitched. And these are half stitches, so of course I had to do double to count for the full 200 cross stitches. So that's the thing you have to remember. If you're doing half stitches, you have to do double, because each leg counts as a half. So that was that one. I can wish. I can wish. Yes, sweetheart?
Something having to do with TV.
Okay, will you go get Daddy and ask him to see it? Can you shut the door?
Why?
Thank you. They always run straight to me. Daddy can fix it just as quick as Mommy can fix it. We're both gamers. It can be done. So the third prompt was to do something that had to do with the great outdoors or camping. So I decided to do the Into the Jungle, Sal. Yeah, I've written stuff on the back. Anyway, so I was working on that. I wasn't sure if I was going to keep working on the bottom, which is where I had been working, or if I was going to move up to the to one of the squares. I decided to keep going on the bottom. So I added in the dark green and then finished off this little pink peach trailing. So that's where it is so far. Coming along. Coming along. There's a part of me that really, well, probably will start the what is it? The cross stitcher Sal. That's the Alice. Yeah, but I need to actually like finish one of the 10 million Sals I have started. The last prompt for this last week was to stitch on something that could be hiding a trap door. So I pulled out Alice, Mirabilia, because to me she's on a stage, and a stage can be hiding a trap door. So I had been starting her in the middle, and I decided to count up so I could get a solid chunk. So I actually went up to the upper corner, started part of the curtain because it was just the same color and it was a pretty quick stitch. So we kind of have her just started there in the middle, and there's part of the curtain. So that is where I got with her. So that was all of all the prompts for homework for last week. And of course they released the prompts for this coming week last night. I took me a little while to figure out what I was going to do, because some of them give options. So again, their little intro that they do has to do with the books and how they're finding things around rides, and somebody had vandalized the T-Rex bones on Big Thunder Mountain, that kind of stuff. So the for this one, this week, we have there's 3 main prompts. One of those prompts, the second one, actually has 3 parts to it. So whereas last week was 4 prompts, each worth 200 points, this one, the first one's worth 300, the second one is worth, 3 points, 300 stitches each. The second one is worth 3 points, and then the last one is worth 4 points. So we actually get a total of 10 points this week, and also if we are able to do all the prompts and not do any penalty stitches, we get an extra 200 stitches towards Cinderella's castle. And I know in our boardwalk group, I'm pretty sure we're at about 108,000. I haven't posted mine yet, just because I'm still working on, I've been kind of doing it in and out. I was going to do one project, the Star Wars one, and then I decided to pull out one of my conversion projects I'm working on, and I've been working on that. So I'm a little more than halfway to my 1,000 stitches. So I'm just going to wait till that's ready, and then I'll post it, and I'll show you guys when I get to that point. But those are both being worked on for that. Okay, so getting into the homework for this week, the host in the books, some of them start talking in rhyme, or they start thinking in rhyme. And so the first prompt is, please read the following rhyme and stitch 300 stitches on something in the rhyme. Excuse me. So this is the rhyme. This is weird, like a man with a beard. green skin and pig's eyes, frog legs and fireflies, a dark cave with loud cries, a girl with tears in her eyes. And it could just be anything for that. It could be a girl. It doesn't have to be a girl with tears in her eyes. It could be a girl. So, you have all those different options. So I decided, technically mine can cover two different ones, both the girl and frog legs, because I decided to pull out my Mira that's Ella the Frog Princess. So as you can tell, you've got the girl and you've got frog legs. I mean, honestly, how many projects do you have that actually have frog legs in them? So I'll probably go with the frog legs just because that's just fun to actually have a project that works into frog legs. So for her, I'm stitching her on a fabric flare fabric, and this is Sky, Sea, and Sand. And I think it's either 28 or 32. I think it might be 32. Might be 28. I don't know. Anyway, so you got the sky, sea, and sand. So it looks like she's standing on the sea. So I just have her a little bit started right there. So I'll be putting 300 stitches into her for that prompt. I'm making, with writing down all of these, I'm trying to make a conscious effort to mix up what I stitch on because I have so many whips and so many things I need to work on. I want to try to do different projects for the prompt. So I'm not just doing the same thing over and over because I really have so many. And I'm going to be starting more. So prompt number 2, each of the rides that have been damaged, so there have been 4 rides that have been damaged. Those 4 rides were Splash Mountain, Winnie the Pooh, Space Mountain, and Big Thunder Mountain. So of those, each of those rides, they had hidden letters to help solve the puzzle. You must stitch 100 stitches for each option. Your project must contain an item that starts with one of the letters listed in each group. And you get 1 point for each group. So they have 3 groupings of letters. First grouping has the letters F, M, and E. Second, Y, I, R, S. And then the third group is T, P, N. And if you've read the book, you know what they figure out what those spell. It's a clue for something they're looking for. So with this one, I debated doing 3 different projects, 100 stitches each, and decided against it because I would rather do at least 200 to 300 stitches on a project at a time rather than just 100, so I can just make some more progress. So I looked through my patterns and I found one that that stuck out to me, and is what I have decided to do. And of course, now I'm going to work on remembering. Okay, now I remember. I hadn't written it down yet. I had to remember what letters I was going for which things. So the one that I'm doing is Mirabilia Royal Holiday, a Christmas Queen. So she's one that I quite love. So for her, what I decided is the F. So the F, M, or E. F is going to be flame, because there's a flame on the candle. I'm going to write this down before I forget it again. For the next group, Y, I, R, S. For the R, I was going to do ribbon, because there is both a ribbon on her dress and on her cape. And for the TPN, I was going to do T for tiara, because what she's wearing, if you look at it, it looks more like a tiara than a crown, at least to me. So those three are those are the ones I am Ella the Fry Princess. This is what happens when I get distracted. And then Royal Holiday. So I'll be doing 300 stitches on this one. So basically what I'll do is I'll do a start picture, do 100 stitches, end picture. Because you have to do a picture for each grouping. We'll just have the one. So that is how that one is going to go. And on this one, doing this on another fabric flare. And this is on a 32 linen, and I realize this will be a new start. So this is on Snow Shelf. You can kind of see. So I'll position it where it looks like she's sitting in the snow with the lights behind her. So that will be a new start. Not one of the new starts I was planning. Yeah. It's okay. We like the new starts in this house. So the last prompt is one of our DHI has been sleeping and cannot be woken up. Stitch 400 stitches on your most boring project that makes you want to sleep. So I don't necessarily have any boring projects. If I have a boring project, I usually will pass it on to somebody. I do have projects that are either not what I'm wanting to stitch on. If I stitch on it, it's like, okay, I really want to get to something else. It's not necessarily that it's a project that bores me. I just don't want to stitch on it. So, I mean, I honestly can't think of a truly boring project because I wouldn't still be stitching on a boring project. That's boring. Nobody has time for that. So I pulled out one that I just have not been feeling the want to stitch on this at all. And I think it's because it's on Ada and it's not on Nice Ada, it's on Kit Ada, which I guess you could say that that's where the project is boring. It's stitched on boring fabric. Majorly boring fabric. And I would love to just restart it on a fun fabric, but I'm not doing this for me. This is a whip I adopted from somebody else that I am going to be working on to do for them. It's just been very hard to stitch on it. And I don't know why, because the pattern is awesome. And I think it's because the fabric is boring. I've gotten spoiled with all my fun hand-dyed fabrics and fabric flares. So we're going to stitch on this. And I chose this one because you have to put 400 stitches in it. And I've only put in a handful of stitches. And I really need to get working on this one. So it gets the biggest stitches of this week. So it is the Castle. It's a Count Across Stitch Kit by Janlyn. So, what's her names? Yeah, everybody knows it. I'm pulling a blank. But anyway, it's this one, which is such a gorgeous one. And I think, if I remember right, Stitchery Express, I think, has a sky and sea fabric that's just, sea, sky. This would be epic on that. To line up that back and then have this be on the sea. I mean, I think that'd be so fun. Unfortunately, it's on boring white. So this is where it's done. Now, when it got sent to me, most of this bottom part had been done. So you can see I haven't put in a lot. It's hard for me to stitch on this. But I am determined to get some stitches in it, get working on it. And it also has truckloads of quarter stitches. And quarter stitches in Ada it's just not fun. So much easier and so much prettier looking on either even weave or linen, but what do you do? So I'll be putting 400 stitches into that and hopefully starting to really make some progress on that. So that is really the plans for this next week. I'm going to continue working on my conversion. I'm trying to get it as far along as I can before showing. It is my first conversion I've ever done. I'm really excited about it. And then I actually have created another kind of semi-conversion. So the Mirabilia that came out that was the baker's wife, that looks like Marie Antoinette. When I first saw it, my first thought was, oh my gosh, this would make an adorable zombie. That was my first thought. Just with the color scheme and the skin color and all of that. So I've actually made it a zombie version. So I'll be doing some slight color conversions on that. And I got basically a test fabric from Cindy with Fabric Flair that apparently Good Work have been playing around putting stripes on everything, but it's perfect for the pattern. And so I want to be starting that up. And the other thing that I wanted to start up was several years ago, somebody, I don't remember who it was. It was either on Etsy or on Facebook, one of those. Anyway, somebody released a Christmas TARDIS. So it was the TARDIS and wrapped in the scarf and Christmas lights and on snow and all of that. So I finally got the fabric that I wanted to stitch that on. And so I think I'm going to actually start that one up too. Even though it's nowhere close to Christmas, I just saw it and I just want to start it. I've got so many starts and fun things, and yeah. What can I say? It's fun. It's fun. Yes, as my computer, which my phone is sitting on top of the box that holds let's see, there's 6 of the 7 Deadly Sin kits inside it. Yeah, I got that. 7 Deadly Sins, got it all kitted by Michelle. So yeah, I still have all those to do, not including all the other projects and all that fun stuff. So yeah, anyway, I think that's stitchy-wise, that's pretty much what's going on for this next week. I won't be going up to Cindy's tomorrow because it is a holiday for my kids, so they don't have school, and my husband actually also has it off from work, so we're going to just be home, and I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to do something. We'll enjoy the day off, but I will be going up Wednesday, and I mean, this last Wednesday, we completely redid the front of the warehouse, went through tons of stuff, got rid of stuff, organized, moved things around. It looks amazing. So, trying to work farther back into the warehouse and do more of that just to better the flow, make it easier to find things we're looking for, make it easy to know, if we have extra stock, when things are out, all of that kind of things. Because if you've run a business or worked in a business that has multiple things, it's extremely important to have an accurate inventory, so that you're not over-ordering things or you're not under-ordering things. You don't want to be ordering 50 of something that nobody wants to buy while you're only ordering, 4 of the thing that's selling like hotcakes. So it's definitely a process. Where our end goal, there's a loft in the warehouse, and we want to get all that stuff cleared out and be able to make basically a little film studio, work studio up there. She does a weekly Sunday show, and we're hoping if we get that all organized, we could do tutorials, we could have just a lot of fun things. So it's all in process, it's all working, it all takes time, but it's really fun. I really enjoy going and doing that. And I know that she's going to be going to Australia to the Mirror Retreat here in a couple weeks. So just got to keep working on stuff, make it happen. I still go up even when she travels. I just work with Garth up there, who's the warehouse manager, and we have a blast. We have fun. And so we got to keep the shipping going, all that fun stuff. So anyway, excuse me. That is all I have for this week. No haul, no fancy schmancy things. So, anyway, hope that you all have a great stitchy week. Hope that you've all had a great stitching week. As you know, I've been watching Flosstube while stitching, and so I've been catching up on stitching Jules. And you know, as she always likes to say, if you've gotten this far and still like it, and actually a lot of people say this, if you've gotten this far and are still watching and like it, love to have you subscribe. Hit the little bell for notifications. I mean, we're 2 weeks in to the goal of posting every Sunday, and it's going strong. So we're keeping it up. We're gonna do it. It's the year of accomplishing goals. And I'm gonna stop blabbling now and get back to stitching. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.